Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast, because Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Steve and Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night.
Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you'll be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Last stop to Blood and Guts was this week on Dynamite. Next week, apparently,
Guts.
It's not actually going to be a one-match affair. It's going to be no, it's 1 week. It's a week from today.
No, I saw. I think John Alba made a joke about it being saying like to Sean Ross Sapp, "Too bad it's 2 weeks away." I wonder if someone on commentary misspoke.
Oh, okay.
I read that wrong too.
So yeah, should be a lot of fun. But they're loading this up with matches, which totally cool. It has pay-per-view feel to it.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
But yeah, last week it was weird because not just you, but like multiple people in our chat swore up and down they were talking about this is a one-match deal. Maybe they thought that I don't know why they would have said that. I don't know. But this week we got confirmation that Britt Baker's going to be in action. Cody and QT are going to be fighting. We're going to get a 4-team tag team eliminator match. We're going to get, Mox and Kingston? No. Yeah, Mox and Kingston versus Kenny and Nakazawa. And then on May 11th, by the way, AEW presents the IWGP US title, Mox versus Yuji Nagata.
Yes.
Which just seemed to be like thrown in there randomly when it's kind of a big deal. So that's kind of cool. We're going to get a IWGP US title match coming up with a week after Blood and Guts. But Blood and Guts. Which this week we saw the return of Cody. He was in the bus, and then he threw QT Marshall off the bus. QT Marshall is now dead.
No, he didn't do that. This isn't WWE 2K19.
Oh, that's right.
And evidently I misread the Twitter exchange, so between John Alba and Sean Ross Sapp. What a surprise. Not my strongest reading effort tonight. It's very hot in here, and this shirt is making me very warm.
Man, just take that thing off. It's Wednesday. Just take the damn thing off. You paid your penance, man. I'm not gonna hold your feet to the fire. Just give me one yar. It's hot in here.
Yar, it's getting hot in here.
Oh, that wasn't really in the spirit of things, Larson.
I get very self-conscious doing a pirate voice.
Of all the things. Anyways, where do you want to start with this show this week? I thought that it was a really fun show. Lots to chew on.
It was great. I thought it was great.
You want to start with the parlay, sir? Do you want to start with the...
I'm honestly... I get the point why they're having Darby main event shows with the TNT title. They're obviously telling the story where he's getting worn out and trying to cut corners to keep that title. And eventually, he just can't do it anymore.
All of his matches are kind of the same. Except for these days, the finish, because you're right, they're telling that story. But it's just he gets beat up a lot. I just feel like the TNT title... It's not really. It shouldn't be main eventing shows. It really shouldn't.
Well, I feel like if it against strong competitors, no disrespect to 10, because I think dude's got a lot of potential. I know he has main evented before, so I don't want this to be seen as a slight towards him. But if Darby's going to be taking on main event caliber wrestlers right now, which as good as 10 is, he's not a main eventer yet. Hopefully in the future he will be.
It's an open challenge mid-card thing that he's doing right now, and it belongs in the mid-card as such. There hasn't been one of these open challenges that he's done that's belonged in the main event. There was that week when, I think it was last week, Shida versus Ty Conti, or the week before that.
That could have been the main event.
That should have main evented.
It's a really good match.
I mean, I'm sounding like
I will say this in their defense. I do appreciate that they're treating the AEW title as something that's not defended regularly. So only on special occasions, thus elevating the prestige of the belt. At the same time, I kind of do appreciate that the TNT title is more often not defended in the main event, because that elevates prestige of that belt too. That their goal was not to have it just be another mid-card belt.
Yeah.
If the idea is that's kind of the Intercontinental title to New Japan's IWGP, well, I mean, not anymore, heavyweight title. This is the way to do it, by having it defended every week, telling a potentially really interesting story with it. I guess the question is, who's going to be the one that takes that belt off Darby? Is it going to be Ethan Page? Or, as I hope, is it going to be Miro?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it'd be cool if it was Hangman Page. That'd be rad. Speaking of which, I guess we could just kick things off because this is how it started. Brian Cage handed Hangman Page a loss. Only his, I don't know, he's only had...
First loss of the year, I think.
His first loss of the year.
I think he's been undefeated in singles action this year. And I like this because the expectation, Page, ranked number 1, we all know he's getting that title shot at Kenny again at some point. He's probably going to win the belt. It's like 95% sure he's going to win the belt. It's more interesting if there's bumps in the road for him.
Yeah.
You know, yes, he has a friendship with the Dark Order. And in other instances, that has been enough for him to escape perilous situations. That didn't happen this time. You know, like they've helped him out plenty of times, so he's not facing overwhelming odds. This time, it didn't work out in his favor. So now I'm curious to see, all right, where does this lead Hangman? Is this going to bring him closer to the Dark Order? Is he going to pull away? I just think from a storytelling perspective, it's more interesting than having him win all these matches, you know?
Yeah. Also, it's something that Brian Cage really needed. I mean, he probably racks up plenty of wins on Dark or whatever, but like when it comes to the big matches, and Hangman Page is a big match for him. Like, I mean, this honestly could have main evented, you know, they could have made a big deal about this as well. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. Of course, there was a caveat involved. Before the bell rang, Team Taz attacked Hangman Page while he was still on the stage, gave him a power bomb on the stage, and so before the match even started, Hangman Page was in a bit of a hole, and Brian Cage was able to basically dominate the match. There were small stretches here and there where Hangman would come alive, but Cage would pretty quickly squash that stuff, and in fact ended up hitting that nasty looking drill claw 4-3 to pick up the win.
Yeah, it was again effective storytelling, and I would expect there to be a rematch in the near future, and Hangman will get his win back. Do
you think? I mean, I had assumed that this also would maybe be to build Cage versus Cage because obviously, dude, are we less than a month now? When is Double or Nothing? End of May or beginning of June?
May 30th.
Okay, so we're about a month away from Double or Nothing. So obviously your eyes have to be sort of looking towards that. Being a month out, Blood and Guts is probably the last big show they're going to have. Before that, I imagine after Blood and Guts, it's going to be, Road to Double or Nothing. Cage is in a thing. Christian is in a thing with Taz, giving him some words tonight.
I thought Christian's promo tonight or interview tonight was really good.
I thought it was the best one since he's been there. But it would seem like the biggest guy on Team Taz would probably take on Christian.
Yeah.
And that's Brian Cage. And this probably, is also meant to make Brian Cage look like this unstoppable monster in advance of Christian beating him with one move at Double or Nothing. And so for Hangman Page, that's probably the more interesting story. Yeah, where does this leave him? Where does it leave him in terms of opponents for Double or Nothing? What are your thoughts on that?
Maybe he's not even on the card.
Oh wow, that'd be pretty. I would kind of doubt that.
I mean, I would doubt that, but I mean, he goes from being the top ranked wrestler in the men's division to be going on a bit of a losing streak, and finds himself, from a storytelling perspective, he goes, he's on top of the world, runs into a rough patch, goes from having a surefire match at Double or Nothing to having nothing. Maybe he's in the Battle Royal or something like that.
Yeah, if it was anything, it might be something like that. But the one thing that AEW kind of doesn't do, they're not going to keep one of their biggest draws of one of their biggest cards of the year. But yeah, I mean, if he's going through a nasty stretch, I would imagine that Double or Nothing might be sort of, he's going through a road bump right now. That might be one moment where he comes away with a win. I just don't know who. There doesn't seem to be anybody.
No.
Obvious.
I thought the Battle Royal makes sense. I mean, was it 2 years ago? He won that first Battle Royal at Double or Nothing, and earned himself a title shot against Jericho.
Yeah.
Or the match determined who the first champ would be. So it'd be some interesting symmetrical storytelling. So after that opening bout, we go to a limousine. Kenny, the Young Bucks, Good Brothers, Don Callis inside. Callis said they had to hitch another vehicle or a trailer of sorts to hold all of Kenny's belts. That's probably what explained why he didn't have the Impact titles on him. He says he's going to be on commentary for the Young Bucks match tonight. Kenny says he's feeling a little frisky. He's also pissed off. He's pissed about Mox and Eddie driving into their trailer, something they spent a lot of money on, he said. He said, but everywhere we go, the money follows. We're not going to be intimidated or scared. We're unfazed. We're not afraid. He takes his sunglasses off and says it right in the camera. We are definitely not afraid. Someone honks a car horn, they all jump.
They all freak out.
And then Nakazawa turns around and says, I accidentally pressed the wrong button. And Kenny says, all right, well, you know what? You mess with one of us. You fight all of us. Tells Eddie that if he wants to fight, he gets Nakazawa tonight.
He said we're going to send our goons.
Yeah.
Like Bob the Goon from Batman. After that, we had the Young Bucks versus the brothers Sydal. Dude, Matt Sydal, he's so much fun to watch. He is so much fun to watch. The highlight of this match, clearly. This is one of those matches where you just got to see it. But the highlight, of course, was when Matt did like some funky splits and then did like a Mortal Kombat-esque super punch to the fake Sydal brother. What's his name? Mike. Right in the dick. Just square.
Right in the front
Right
area.
at the bell end. Dick balls, all that stuff. Just a fist. Straight to it. It was kind of great.
It was. Young Bucks were at their arrogant best tonight. There's a couple instances where there's one spot where Matt just hits like the purposely laziest looking clothesline as it struts around the ring. Because he's so damn good. Anyways, so the Young Bucks, there's the dick punch to Mike. They super kick Matt Sydal off the apron. They hit the BTE trigger for the win afterwards. Brandon Cutler brings some bags of ice and some cold spray to the Young Bucks. SCU walks to the stage because they're going to talk about a bunch of changes going on lately. We've got the new Young Bucks with questionable wardrobe decisions. Says one thing that won't change, the promise that I made to Daniels that if we lost again as a tag team, we'd no longer be a tag team. Now the number one contenders, and they're the top threat to the champions. Daniel says he's pissed. He's looking forward to wrestling his friends, but he doesn't see, he was looking forward to wrestling his friends, but he doesn't see his friends in front of him now. Their new attitude sucks. Maybe they should take the tag titles from him. He says, when you, the Young Bucks, find your balls, put pen to paper on a contract for a title match, it says, we will make this company a better place without you assholes in it.
Ooh. After that,
I guess if the Young Bucks lose the tag titles, they're fired.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that either. I just figure he meant, without you guys
the tag
being
division, the
face
tag
of
division.
the company or something like that. I don't know.
know.
But okay, hold on a second though. The tag eliminator next week.
Yeah.
Is that to determine the number one contender?
I would think so, but I thought SCU was already number one.
Yeah, that was kind of... The AEW kind of has a history of doing that every once in a while where it's like, wait a second. This person's already contender. Why do they now
like
have
a huge deal? Like all of Britt Baker's story is a huge deal now that she's top of the rankings, and here's SCU top of the rankings.
Right.
They have to win the match to get their title shot.
Yeah, it's weird. Should be a good match, though. After that, we had a Jade Cargill promo. Was this the... I mean, it was language-wise, it was like the same. I mean, I know it was like the attire was different. But she said, all these managers want my money. They want a cut of my money to manage me. But there's a problem there because I'm my own boss. I'm that bitch. So I feel like...
She made it seem like if anybody's going to be her manager, like they have to pay her.
Pay her. Yeah. It's not really how that works, but... After that, I mean, she'll learn maybe. After that, Orange Cassidy versus Pentagon Jr. Man, this was like a hell of a match. Started out, but we had a Penta promo, a Penta says promo at the beginning. It's sort of the same stuff they said before. This time he said, Orange Cassidy, we're going to make you pulp. They do the whole hands in the pocket, Seto Miedo thing.
That was good.
And then Penta throws his glove to Alex, who actually catches it like a champ because I think he jumped off the apron to catch it.
Yeah,
lands
to
it.
the floor. Yeah.
And then Cassidy throws his glasses to Trent, who just sort of half-assedly tries to catch him, doesn't. They finally go at it, but man, this was a stiff match, and this was a taped episode. I don't know, do they do these things back to back or on back to back days? Do you know how they handle these? I
would assume it to be back to back days because during the opening match it was dusk, and it was dusk.
That's a good
when
point.
It opened Dynamite
That's a good point.
last week, so I imagine it's back to back days unless they do a thing where they shoot both shows sequentially but alternate shows.
My point is, I could be wrong, but Orange Cassidy, I imagine he had a match at some point during those tapings prior to this because he came out, he already had like welts on his body when he took off his he looked beat. They didn't want to be there. But this was a hell of a match. Maybe he just knew that they're going to have like a 20-minute barn burner physical match because this is just a ton of fun. Towards the finish, Alex gets up with the microphone, tries to talk some shit to Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy tosses him into the ring. The mic falls near Trent. He sort of on the sly hands it to Orange Cassidy, who nails Pentagon with an orange punch with the mic and pins him for 3. So as somebody, I think it was before you sat down, somebody in chat said, so the microphone is legitimately the most dangerous weapon in AEW. It's not a chair. It's not a kendo stick.
Yeah, Kenny's used it.
Yeah.
Now it's been used 2 weeks in a row.
It's microphone.
This story.
I actually think that a microphone like that probably would be more damaging than at least a kendo stick.
Well, I mean, depending on the mic, it could be very heavy. Because most microphones have magnets in them. Some have batteries.
Yeah, those things can be pretty heavy.
So yeah, and it's dense. It's not like a widely distributed.
Spread out like a chair.
Yes.
Or a kendo stick, which is just like thin wood, basically.
Yeah. After that, Britt Baker interview with Tony Schiavone. She gives Tony a hug, asks him, "Hey, do I ever lie? I never lie. No, I don't." She says she was going to work her way to the top of the ratings, and look what happened. Not only is she top of the food chain, she's top of merch sales, and she's at top of these very logical rankings. Because when it comes to the women's champ, Sheeta, it's time for Britt to remind everyone why she's the face of the division.
Sheeta later is what she said.
Yes.
It's really clumsy pun. After that, we had, she's terrific though. After that, we had the parlay between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle.
This was fantastic.
It really was. Sean Spears talks first. He targets Sammy, says, Jericho's leading you into deep waters, and I'm going to step on your head while you're drowning, son. Sammy said...
I like the bit where, because Tony's explaining the rules to begin with, and he's about to talk about the coin toss for advantage, and then Spears snatches a mic from him. It's like, there will be no coin toss. We deserve the advantage because we were lured into this match.
Yeah. So Sammy says, why should I ever believe you? Ever since you've come here, you've been a failure. You're a failure in NXT, too. He says he doesn't care. He'll fight everyone. He says, you know what? Fine. That's good. I'll just start the match. I'll take you one-on-one, one-on-two, 1-on-5. I'll start with the popcorn guy. I don't care. Yeah. Dash gets on the mic next. And
Cash. It's Cash now.
Cash.
He was Dash and WB. Now he's Cash.
Cash. Gets on the mic, and they target LAX. He says, May 5th, Santana Ortiz. Don't bring the soft, complacent Jericho lapdog versions of Santana Ortiz, because if you do, you won't make it out alive.
Yep.
Dax says it's almost a guarantee that someone's career, or he gets really dark here, or life may come to. You can take over when they go back and forth. Anyways, you can do the MJF Jericho stuff.
All right, very well.
He says it's almost a guarantee that someone's career or life may come to an end. I've talked to my family about potentially dying at Blood and Guts. He says, you're going to be in my world when that cage closes. I'm not afraid to die. Both of you have families. He mentions their kids. He says, before you leave next week, grab and hug and kiss your kids and get down on your knee and whisper an ear in their message from Uncle Dex. Daddy ain't coming home. Santana says, in 7 days, y'all are going to be locked in a cage with us. And he says, May 5th, I'm going to let my hands do the talking for me. So then MJF
grabs the stick and tells Jericho, thank you. And he says, I know you've been wanting me and everybody else here to say those 2 words because without Jericho, there is no AEW. He was the top guy, the bridge to bring in lapsed fan, and also managed to create the best group in all of pro wrestling, the Inner Circle. MJF says, though, I can't imagine the pressure you're under, Chris. Every single time, if you don't hit a home run, he's taking food out of everyone's mouths. He puts the company on the line every time he comes out. And look at you. The pressure is wearing on you. You look exhausted. But hey, you don't have to worry because at Blood and Guts, I'm going to take the burden off you and take that crown off your head and put it on my own. Says, Chris, I appreciate everything you've done for this company. But when he looks down at Jericho's mangled body, he is going to tell him thank you for your spot. So then Jericho calls MJF a self-righteous prick. How dare you be so entitled? Think that a spot can be inherited like his trust fund. It doesn't work that way. You want a spot, you got to earn it. Jericho says, you're right. Yes, I was curtain jerking at 25 in WCW. But that got me where I am today. Also, prior to WCW, he says, I was main eventing all over the world. He earned the reputation, and that put him at the top of the game. He tells Max if he wants his spot, he's going to start by beating him. But he's not going to do that because the Inner Circle is blood and guts. They are family. He says, how long have you guys all known each other? 3 months? We've been a part of AEW since day one. He says, Hager had my back in 2012.
Said there was an assassination attempt on him in Abu Dhabi in 2012.
And he said, together, they've all clawed their way to the top. He says, I personally brought Sammy in, and then you guys made him quit. He tells MJF they are going to have to kill them to make them quit because they're not going to give up. They're not going to surrender. It says when they don't do that, they're going to be the poop you wipe off on the concrete off the bottom of your shoe after you step in it. And MJF, that will be the spot that you deserve.
You will eat the poop.
You will eat the poop.
So, yeah.
It was really good.
Did you mention the summer of 2021 stuff? Summer of
no, I thought the poop line was a better punchline than the summer of violence thing.
You rewrote it on the fly.
Summer starts early this May. It was kind of clunky.
After that, Eddie Kingston comes out to fight Nakazawa. He don't want to do that. He says, get out of the ring. Get out of here. I'm not doing Nakazawa was just sitting there on his laptop.
And he says, I'll stop with this sports entertainment crap.
Yeah. I'm not doing this. He says, Kenny, get out of here, Kenny. So Kenny comes out and says, wait a second. No, you got this wrong. We're mad at you. We want payback from you. We're sending the goons after you. You get Nak. So right when he says that, Nakazawa attacks with his laptop from behind. Kingston, though, quickly gets the upper hand, puts a chair on his leg, says, get in the ring or I'll break his ankle. Kenny says, he's like, oh no, you're going to break his ankle? Well, he knew what he signed up for. He said, we have more goons. Send out Cutler. So Cutler comes flying out like somebody just threw him out. That was the case. It was Mox. He comes out behind him, attacks Kenny. They get him down to the ring, put the chair in Kenny's leg. Eddie and Mox want a tag match. Kingston's like, either give me a match with him or give us a tag match. And so Callis is like, no, don't break his ankle. Don't break his ankle. And Mox is like, all right, we want a tag match with Kenny and Nakazawa. Callis agrees, and Eddie says, all right, see you next week. Mm-hmm. That's just my right. Taz. Speaking of Taz is backstage.
Taz, go ahead, have at it. I'll be Christian, you be Taz. How about that?
We just witnessed Brian Cage beat Hangman Page. That makes Team Taz number one. And then idiot Christian shows up.
Christian walks in. Well, Taz has more lines.
Oh, yeah, he says, oh, look at this guy. Hobbs made one mistake. He was beating you all over that ring. One mistake and you capitalized.
Yeah, then Cage says, enough. He says, Taz used to be one of the toughest dudes, suplexing people and beating them and choking them out and whatnot. He made it look easy. Now he talks a big game, but the backing it up, not so much. So he backs himself up now with the best prospects in AEW when they reach their potential, when they find great success. Taz is going to bask in it like it was his own. And Cage says, I, Christian Cage, represents everything Taz wishes you could be. Still wrestling, essentially. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and send all your guys my way. Here's the thing. I don't believe in winning and losing. I believe in winning and learning. And he talks about how he's going to...
That's the... I was with him up until that moment.
Oh, really?
And in fact, yeah, because it was good. It was good. I'm willing to admit it was good. But as soon as he said, I don't believe in winning and losing, I believe in winning and learning, I was like, that's the cheesiest shit. What is this, an after-school special with Christian Cage? Get out of here with that.
Maybe it is. Anyways, he says, I'll teach Starks a lesson. Next, maybe one day they'll all realize that they can do this without Taz. And Taz is just, man, that hurt his feelings.
Oh, they don't need me. They're always going to need me.
He was really stewing in that.
Yeah.
Next up, Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander. It's a fun match. Got a bit of a hockey fight to start.
Statlander's so damn good.
Yeah, she is.
She is so damn good.
She is really good. She hits a bunch of power moves to start. She avoids like a slingshot knee from Ford on the apron. However, Kip starts talking crap, distracts her. That allows Ford to hit a boot on her, then the knees on the apron. She has control for a while. Back from commercial, Statlander hits an STO, couple uppercuts, running knee, Blue Thunder Bomb gets 2. Finish saw Ford duck a clothesline, hit Statlander with a kick. That gets her a 2 count. Ford is going for a handspring, and then Statlander catches her, hits her finish to get the W.
Yep. After that, we had a nice little 10 promo video. The Dark Order 10 guy talks the influence. Preston Vance talks the influence of Brody Lee on his career and his life, and I really miss Brody Lee. God damn it, he was so good. After that, we had match of the night. Clearly, the Nightmare Family versus the Factory. So
main event.
This is my event. This is my main event right here. So a bus pulls up. But it's a Nightmare Family, but no, a Nightmare Factory bus, right? Or family. What was the logo? Wasn't it a Nightmare Family?
It said Nightmare Express on the side.
Oh, it's a Nightmare Express. Okay.
An obvious shout out to Lex Express.
Yeah, how did I miss that? Anyways, so QT and his friends get out of the bus. All of a sudden, I see.
Well, here's the thing. So the Factory's music is playing, and this bus pulls up. I'm like, oh, is Cody really going to take the spotlight off the Factory by pulling up in his bus and getting out of the bus while the Factory is making the renters? No, the Factory's in the bus.
Yeah, the Factory's in the bus. How those 4 guys afforded that bus, so it was beyond me. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's not even.
Also, commentary like, did they steal the bus?
Yeah, how did they do that? How do you get a bus driver? Because they're not driving that thing. You need like a special
evidently
license
Cody
to
was a
do
bus
that.
driver.
Oh yeah, maybe he was in disguise. I could see Cody actually pitching that as a story idea. No, I'm in disguise. So, anyways, my favorite little bit of business here: Billy Gunn had Lex Luger rib tape on. It was great. It was awesome.
It was great.
And was that just from the Go-Go gut punch from last week?
I think so. They're really selling the gut punch.
It's killing everybody. So this match was obviously pretty ridiculous. Lee Johnson had some good stuff going on. On the outside, speaking of Lee Johnson, he takes a gut punch on the apron from a Go-Go. He's still in the match. Billy Gunn comes over to try to take out a Go-Go. Bad move. He gets a gut punch again. Looks like he's about to throw up. QT ended up getting the pin thanks to the gut. Did QT hit the diamond cutter on him, or is it just the gut punch?
he just covered Lee after the gut punch.
Wow. I was like, did I miss a diamond cutter there? No, just the gut punch.
Just the gut punch. So afterwards, Nick Camarado clocks Dustin with the cowbell. Gun Club, Billy's sons hit the ring to attack QT. Colton drop kicks QT out of the ring, and the Factory comes back out. Brawl breaks out, and while that's all happening, QT makes his way back up towards the bus. And gosh darn it, once they do a long shot of the bus, you see Cody just standing there.
No, like, mask to hide him.
No effort to just go around the corner and hide. Nothing. He's just standing there clear as day, and the commentary has to like sell it. Like, they obviously see somebody, but they want to say, "Oh, that's Cody." Is there somebody?
Who is that?
It's Cody.
Who is that tall guy with shock blonde hair? I don't recognize with that
wearing
horribly
that hideous jacket. That's on Shop
black
AEW.
jacket. Oh, it was the most Cody moment there was.
It really was.
It was a very Lex Luger moment. It was very in keeping with the Lex Express. It just felt like a Lex Luger moment.
Yeah. So QT opens the door. Cody attacks. They brawl. Eventually, Cody takes his jacket off. They make their way to the top of the bus. Brawl for a bit up there. Cody puts a figure 4 on QT. As soon as they cut away from this segment, they announce Cody versus QT next week.
Yeah.
Also, Omega Nakazawa versus Mox and Eddie. And then the following week, Mox versus Yuji Nagata for the IWGP US title on Dynamite. That's insane.
That is insane. Would not have called
Pretty
that
crazy.
like 2 years ago. Would not have called that one.
Nope. Also, Britt will be in action next week, and then yes, the 4-way tag team eliminator match. Winner gets a title shot.
Oh no! Here in chat, Lou says, "I actually don't hate the jacket. I'm gonna have to take this mod status away from Lou."
All right. After that, Kip is talking to the camera. He's like, "I don't know why everybody thinks this is a huge deal. Him not talking to Miro. Everything is fine." He walks into a locker room.
Kip.
Miro's just in there eating an apple. He approaches him, and he throws the apple at Kip. Annihilates him. Says, "No one's going to stop me from getting what I want." He tells Kip, it's time to pay your dues. He slams his arm in the door and then gets down, hugs him,
Cradles him.
cradles him. I forgive you.
I forgive you, buddy.
Gosh, Miro's great.
Oh, this was terrifying. Kip, don't go in that room, man. Terrifying.
It's great.
And then he says, good talk.
Good talk. Gosh, Miro's so good.
After that, we had our main event. Darby Allin versus Preston Vance, number 10 of the Dark Order. Pretty standard Darby match, getting beat up by a big guy. Towards the finish, Ethan Page attacks Darby, throws him against the pole. 10 comes in. He's like, what happened to this guy here?
I actually like they did that. It was
Me
like,
too,
okay,
because he's like, this is a friendly. This guy is doing, because I don't know if you said the Twitter thing. Darby Allin said, hey, he's getting this match because Silver busted himself up during our match. I don't count that as a win, so pick your guy. Yeah. And so he was like, hey, I'm a good guy. I'm not going to take advantage. And they're like, no, it's a match. You have to take advantage. It's an opportunity. So he said, okay, he did that. He went for the pin. Darby kicked down. No, he comes in. He used the wheelbarrow German suplex to get to. Gets Darby in a bear hug. Darby starts to rip his mask, gouges the eyes a bit. And then Preston gets Darby in a full Nelson. And he's in there forever until Darby's finally able to get up, sort of put his legs and kick the top turnbuckle to push him back to pin 10 for the win. Completely spent after the match. And after the match, 10 pays some respect. He lifts him up. Well, Sting comes out. 10 comes over, picks him up. Darby takes the Brody wristband off of 10, and he lifts it up so everybody can see the name. And then Ethan Page gets on the apron and distracts both Darby and Sting, while Scorpio Sky comes up from behind, chop blocks Sting. Ethan Page goes after Darby. Archer and 10 come back to run them off.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's your episode of AEW Dynamite.
Fun show.
Fun
show.
Fun show.
Really good show. Really good show. We got some questions. I'm here on the Twitch. Steve will be on the Patreon. First question here from, I guess this is Skim 100. Why is AEW the best thing in wrestling?
What's the question?
Why is AEW the best thing in wrestling?
Next question. Thomas Dunnigan. Power rank. What's more fun than 6 guys in a limo?
Is the punchline there?
No, we're supposed to power rank what's more fun than 6 guys in a limo. Like a strip club. Like pretty much anything, to be honest with you.
Do all the answers have to take, like, do they have to be inside a limo?
Oh. Is this like power rank things in a limo that are more fun than 6 guys?
Uh-huh.
How about 5 guys? The burger
food,
place,
yeah.
The burger place.
That's good.
In a limo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You
Strip
get your
club
own
in a
5
limo.
guys. You get your own 5 guys installed in your limo, yes.
Like a Pink Floyd laser light show in a limo.
That might be pretty distracting, especially if you're driving.
Well, you're not driving, man. The
Well,
driver
whoever
is
is
the
driving.
driver.
I know, but if you're distracting the driver, that puts your own safety in jeopardy.
Dude, come on. You've been in a limo before. You go, bzzz, and then anything goes. You just do the window. Bzzz.
I don't know if there's a bunch of flashing lights. It might be a bit much. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know how opaque that thing is. I've never really paid that close attention.
That's an MP, not a YP. Oh, here's a great question. JTV. So Cody's going to be the first one to beat a go-go, right? I mean, that seems crystal clear.
Probably.
That seems crystal
probably.
clear.
I mean, I'm guessing Cody's going to want to run through every member of the factory before finally beating QT. No, he's beating QT next week.
Yeah, that's what's happening next week.
Raging Texas. So far, I'm slowly catching up on all the Wrestling Weekly. Your thoughts on Dream Match, Young Bucks versus Hardy Boys? Is this Wrestling News Channel stuff?
Wait, what? Where are
Raging
you?
Texas. So far, I'm slowly catching up on all the Wrestling Weekly. Your thoughts on Dream Match, Young Bucks versus Hardy Boys?
That match exists?
Yeah, as a Ring of Honor.
It was in Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you made some reference on Wrestling Channel News to something like that.
No.
All right.
The Mullet King, Monroe, asks, who's the next title challenger for Kenny, Mox, Eddie, or someone else? So do you think,
I wouldn't be surprised as Eddie at this point.
Yeah, I kind of feel like between now and what's it called? Double or Nothing? Mm-hmm. I could see Eddie being the thing, but I think at Double or Nothing, it's clearly going to be Mox.
It'd be interesting if Eddie got that Double or Nothing title match. Main event in Double or Nothing. That'd be pretty crazy.
That'd be insane. That'd be great.
If they do something in this tag match where they kind of write Mox off, at least, injure him with some respect, so it can't be the title match. I think it'd be cool for Eddie.
Yeah, but in the tag match, he's got a match the next week for the U.S. title, so
yeah,
he's got to be around for that.
I suppose that's true. Maybe after that match. I mean, because Mox and Eddie are gonna, I guess they're gonna win the tag match next week against Kenny and Nakazawa. Nakazawa's totally taking that pin.
Yeah, you would think so. I don't know. I could see stories playing out either way. No, I mean, I just think that it's a huge headline match, and their huge headline show, probably with fans there, so like a lot of fans. So I'm assuming it's going to be. I mean, Mox versus Kenny that's a big deal,
EW Mayhaus with partnership with Impact Wrestling. Why can't Santana Ortiz use the LAX name? And I think Beta Capsule Troy has it right. Conan owns the name.
Viva La Raza. It belongs to him. It's Duker, baby. Says, when does Orange Cassidy's gimmick need to evolve? Sort of depends on what they want to do with him and what he wants to do with it.
I think it also really depends on how creative he and his opponents are with his gimmick. I thought the match tonight, there were some really creative uses of the Orange Cassidy gimmick within the match in terms of how the story was told. Sometimes there's not that level of creativity there.
Yeah.
Because I could see where his shtick gets old, but I didn't find it old or tiresome in this match whatsoever.
No, this match was kind of in a vacuum, vacuum. You're right, but
especially in that bit, the bit where Penta's trying to break his arm and Orange is trying to block it by putting his hand in his pocket. Like, that's clever stuff. What
does more for me to develop him more than anything is the addition of Chris Statlander. I thought there was some stuff between those two on Being the Elite where she was like shy around him and wanted to ask him out or something like that. So I don't know what it is, but like, when she throws the thumbs up to him and he throws it back, like, they're a couple of weirdos, but like, if they can sort of via their relationship make them more him than her, more relatable human beings, because that's what you want. You can relate to somebody if they're a 3-dimensional character. Yeah. Well, that's not gonna. You need more than that.
No, I'll give you a thumbs up saying you're right.
There you go.
Victor Wolf, man, Moxley and Kingston have such great chemistry. I'd love to see them in a cop type show where they just intimidate people and beat ass.
That sounds like the Shield or something. I mean, I don't know if like a cop type show where people are beating asses is really, capturing quite the zeitgeist we want these days.
No.
But I take the point. Like a couple of badass, couple of good fellas, something like that maybe is more appropriate.
Yeah.
I want these guys to be cops brutalizing people. Oh, that's... Oh, man. Patrick Sparks. Hey, friendos, Pat here. Rumor has it the Attitude Era locker room was full of sharks and people who deserve to be pushed based on talent alone yet were pushed down. Who would you make the same analogy to in AEW? It's Cody. He says, okay, so the Attitude Era locker room was full of sharks and people who deserve to be pushed based on talent alone were pushed down. Who would you make the same analogy to in AEW? I don't know that. I mean, it doesn't seem like that necessarily exists. I mean, Cody on screen and in his stories seems to do that. But, to make it, it's more about like making it about him as opposed to not making it about somebody else. Like Scorpio Sky still won that ladder match for the Sonic Gold Coin.
Even though the focus of the entire match was squarely on Cody.
Right, exactly. It was Ethan Page's debut match. But like at the same time, now obviously they're doing something with Page, with Scorpio Sky. So I don't know, man. I honestly feel like with AEW, it's like the wrestlers do seem to be given the opportunity to sink or swim. So it's like kind of all on them. When the Hybrid 2, when they were in that interview, they were like, yeah, we're not used to like pitching stories for ourselves. And, it's like, that's just not their thing. And at that point, it's like, that's probably why they're not on TV a whole lot. They're terrific wrestlers, but that seems like a place where, hey, you pitch something and you're given the green light. And sometimes it works. And sometimes, like we saw with the arcade stuff with Kip and Miro, at the time, it didn't really work. but it seemed like that was what they wanted to do, and they were given the leeway to do it.
Here's the thing too: is I don't know if this was intentional, so perhaps this is giving AEW too much credit. But you put Miro in a angle that is underwhelming initially, and then you're like, why is he doing this? He should be doing so much more than this. So now we get to this moment now where he's breaking free of that. He's destroying Kip. We're seeing the Miro that we want to see from the get-go.
Yeah.
Sort of like when Paige, again, I don't know if this is intentional or it took him a while to find a story for him. When AEW debuted, they seemed like they had nothing for him.
Yeah.
Like creative. He was just kind of there.
Yeah, right.
And then he came upon, what the character had become. And I feel like it was more impactful, his transition, his evolution to the character he is now, rather than just starting him off as that when AEW debuted. Like I said, I don't know if that's intentional or not.
That'd be a hell of a question to ask, like Tony Khan. Like, hey, was debuting Miro in a way that many people saw as a bit underwhelming? Hey, he comes out smiling. Hey, I'm a nice guy. I'm the best man. Was debuting him in that fashion? Were you sort of telling a bit of a meta story, like, hey, we're going to debut a guy who was underutilized in a way that did not make fans happy in WWE, and so that we could see him break free of that on camera? It's a valid question. AEW, they can get deep into the details sometimes.
Hip Hop Hippo, do you think Cody was hiding on that bus the whole time? I think Cody was hiding on that bus for days. That was all Hip Hop Hippo.
I think he was there.
Yeah, he was in the bus. He was in the bus when it pulled up to the stadium.
Yeah, no, I still think he was driver in disguise, and I still think
Entirely
he pitched
possible.
that story.
He had the glasses with the mustache.
Of course, yeah, the Groucho stuff. Yeah, David Matushik says, which this is not even a question here. He says, which is more beautiful, Pharaoh the dog or Brian Pillman Jr.'s hair? All due respect to Mr. Pillman Jr., but Pharaoh's a beautiful dog, absolutely gorgeous animal.
Jorge D, since Cody seems to be taking Luger's gimmick, how will the following storylines go down? Cody gets a metal plate in his forearm. He beats QT, and then instead of a go-go punch him in the gut, punches him in the arm, breaks his arm.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
He starts calling himself the All-American for the Body Slam Challenge. Body Slam for the Body Slam Challenge.
I mean, it's got to be Camarado. He's sort of the biggest, bulkiest guy they have. He's not that big, though. They'd have to bring in, like, AC Romero.
Both members of Bear Country.
Oh, that's good. That's good, yeah. And he does it.
And the Cody Express tour to challenge for the AEW title. He's got the Nightmare Express already.
He's got the Nightmare Express. He has that already.
Zoe Conrada, a go-go should do the gut punch, and the guy should throw up a bunch of blood like the one guy did. Yeah.
Well, Invader 3, come on now. Put some respect on his name, please, sir. Invader 3 is his name. He has a name. The third Invader.
Cosmic Night Fury, with AEW highlighting titles from other promotions, it would seem like a smart move for a wrestler to create their own title to get a main event slot. Which AEW wrestler should just create their own title and then hopefully defend, unlike the FTW title?
Yeah, it's weird they haven't had the FTW title. That's what Paige should go after. Paige should go after the FTW title against Cage. Oh, no, it's going to be a Christian Cage match, isn't it? Who should create their own title? And not Cody. It should be Cody. That makes all the sense in the world.
Nightmare Championship.
The Nightmare Championship. That will probably be a thing one day.
I mean, Kenny should just make another title.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
He's a belt collector.
The Omega title. That has a cool ring to it.
This is a great question. Shane's birthday tweet. Brian Zane did a wrestling trope cliche video today. In the Partners Betrayed segment, Sting was mentioned. He was turned on a lot. The Horseman turned on him like 5 times.
Yeah.
How long till Darby turns on Sting or Archer turns on Sting?
God, if Archer turns, like, it is going to be Big Show 2.0 at that point.
That's why I think it'd be more interesting if Sting is the one that betrays somebody.
I want Sting to turn on Darby and become Joker Sting. It's the only thing that makes sense. He's like, hey, Darby, you want to come over to my house and watch The Dark Knight? What? No, we've seen it 3 times already. I saw it when I was a child. Also, come on, it's on TNT again, dude.
It's on TNT every weekend. What's so special now, Sting?
It's on I can get it on like Netflix right now. It's literally there right now. Yeah. We can watch it twice in a row and get some pizza. I don't eat pizza, man. Why so serious?
Really?
Really what?
You along heavy says Peter Avalon was in the Car Shield commercial with Ric Flair. He ate a chop and a splash from some guy. I didn't know it was Peter Avalon in that.
What is this shared universe Car Shield shit all about?
Crazy.
That's crazy. Is Peter Avalon and LA Knight going to do a spot together? Holy crap.
Wow.
It's like
Forbidden Door.
It's like the amalgam
Who thought
universe.
Car Shield was the Forbidden Door?
Yeah, really.
Fear and Loathing. Tony Khan is bringing you in as on-air talents, but to be in AEW, you need a faction. Who will be Team Steve and who will be Team Larson?
We can't be in the same faction? Come
no,
on.
not according to this question.
Listen, dude, you, me, we'll be the collective invisible hands. Cal, Simon Miller.
All right.
We need maybe, who are some guys that are there? I don't watch Dark, so I don't know who is like factionless right now.
Oh, okay.
I really want AC Romero. Can we bring him over from Impact?
Sure.
Because he's great. He pounced that one dude out of a ring one time.
That's pretty great.
It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Now you get
Hopefully
to
we
choose
see.
a guy.
Oh, all right. Well, I like how you said, I don't know anybody on Dark, so you pick somebody from another company.
Go ahead. Pick somebody from...
If we're going to do that, give me Jeff Cobb. Oh, he's in a faction already. Shit.
He's in a faction, man.
Damn. Well, that's a
Oh,
bummer.
shit. Fear and Loathing has the answer. Don't look at chat right now.
I'm not looking at chat. Oh, yeah, Christian. That's my guy.
What are you doing to this family?
Raging Texas with a bunch of bits. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raging Texas. Roberto Channel says, I disagree. Pentagon and Phoenix have definitely been held back. They should have been at least tag team champions by now or TNT champ. I do kind of wonder about Pentagon and you know, this isn't the only promotion they're in. So I wonder if their commitments to AAA might have something to do with them not being pushed even more.
Entirely possible.
Plus, they were in the Death Triangle, and Pac had to leave because of COVID. I'd give them more time, and because obviously Pentagon's on some sort of streak. I mean, I know he lost tonight, but like
he's got a story going.
He's got a story going right now.
And also, you know, when AEW started, the AAA tag titles were the de facto tag titles in AEW too. And that was like the first huge tag program for the Young Bucks. So.
Yeah. Maggie says, Drama King Matt posed the question on his Twitter of where people would like to see him wrestle as he's taking bookings now. Are you guys interested in a Miro reunion or not really? I kind of like Miro Unchained. I like him without anybody else. Although that'd be terrific to see him do that. I kind of feel like Miro needs to be Miro at this point.
Agreed. I think this version of Miro is, as you put it, unchained. He's just got to be out there wrecking people.
Right? Yeah.
This Miro should have no time for comedy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As much as great as they were together, the Rusev Day stuff was wildly entertaining. I feel like what Miro is doing now, it just wouldn't work. Just wouldn't work. Dr. Lipkin, we've often talked about what wrestlers should transition to the small or big screen, but what about the stage? Pick a wrestler you think could do well on Broadway. One for musicals, one for dramas. I mean, obviously,
well, let's take
MJF. MJF.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say let's take Drama King Matt off the off the board because that would be amazing. MJF, yeah, he did the thing.
Eddie Kingston for dramas. Man, imagine him on a stage play.
Like a Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
Stella! Or what's the Jets and the, what are they called?
Oh, West Side Story.
You got that right. Hey, Jack. Let's see here. Rocco asked, do you think Miro could become the leader of the Dark Order? I don't want to see that. I just want to see Miro just wrecking people.
Yeah, he's got to wreck people.
Like, they need to figure out some sort of pixelation thing, because it'd be great if he just stripped naked and started wrecking people. That's how savage I want Miro to be.
Agreed.
You know? He just runs around, hey! Oh my God, it's a naked Miro. Why is he mauling Peter Avalon?
Nude Miro.
Nude Miro.
I'm just trying to do something. 3-way trade between Pinnacle, Inner Circle, and Team Taz. Who you picking? 3-way deal.
Oh, wow. Okay, Team Taz.
Brian Cage doesn't want to be in Team Taz. He gets traded out.
That's like a Jordan. That's like a huge trade. Okay, I mean we're looking at like Brian Cage.
Brian Cage goes to Pinnacle. Wardlow goes to Inner Circle.
Hager goes to Taz.
Sammy goes to Team Taz.
It was probably have to be Hager. How about, oh man, how about this? Ricky Starks goes to Pinnacle. Sean Spears goes to Inner Circle.
And then Sammy goes to Team Taz.
That's sort of a 1-for-1 for Team Taz. I mean, Sammy's got a bit more experience in AEW than Ricky does.
Well, in terms of power ranking within AEW,
it's a bad move for Inner Circle. Inner Circle would not want to. Yeah.
Nope. Utubian Christian wins the FTW belt and rebrands it the For the Work belt.
Oh God, that's so bad.
That'd be great.
That is so bad. Now you learn
I don't. After hearing him talk tonight, I don't believe in wins and losses either. I believe in wins and learns.
That's good. What did you learn from all your losses with the predictions here?
I'm shitty at predictions.
That's not a lesson, man. That's just the result.
The lesson is I need to be better. I mean, it's sage advice. I don't know why you think it's corny.
Would it be better? It's hilariously bad. It's so fitting though. It's great. It's great. I love it. I don't believe he said it so sincerely too. Like, oh, I thought about this.
That's probably what he says people backstage.
Yeah, listen, I don't believe in wins and losses. Well, yeah, I know, Christian. It's like predetermined. Like this is a performance we're putting on. Listen to me, please. I'm talking. I don't believe in wins and losses. I believe in wins and learning.
Adrian C. with Cody having such an affinity for throwbacks at WCW, do you think he pulls the whole steel plate under the shirt move when he goes up against a go-go a la Brett versus Goldberg? That'd be pretty funny.
Instead of a steel plate,
it's just his abs.
Yeah, he lifts up his shirt and he like looks at his abs and he's smiling at everybody. Like what? So it was just his abs? You have great abs.
Dark Shadow Zake, rumor has it the matches for Blood and Guts that are not the match itself will be pre-taped and the fans will watch the show on the screen until the main event. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if because that's interesting. Maybe it's because they might not have any place to put the cage during the other matches. That might be why.
Well, yeah, that's what I'd figure would be the deal.
Will Terminator. Hey, Steve, what are your thoughts on Star Trek Enterprise? I tried watching it a while back but couldn't finish it. Now I'm going to give it another go.
Garbage. Don't even bother with it. It's trash. It's like the original series. It's crap. Cosmic Night Fury. Pitch a match between conspiracy theorist wrestlers. I ain't going there. Dang MQ. Mark Henry said to Booker T that he lost 80 pounds. He wants to get back into wrestling. Where should it be? AEW.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Lipkin, I like Drama King Matt do a run in AEW, not to team up with Miro, but to be the face against Miro's brutal heel, give them the payoff they deserve. Matt doesn't need to sing just a brief stint, or sign. Sorry, Matt doesn't need to sign just a brief stint.
How about this? They kayfabe Miro renting out that movie theater for like the people at AEW, except he he rents the movie theater, he locks all the doors, and he just murders them all. He mauls them all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you want to start up that feud, Miro rents out the movie theater, and Drama King Matt walks in thinking he has a ticket to see the movie in that theater. And Miro goes, hey, buddy.
Hey,
no,
buddy. Hey, buddy.
I four-walled this theater. This is my theater for the next 2 hours.
Four-walled it. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to go. He's like, well, I have a ticket.
I came for a show. I shall not go. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Rocco says Cody's abs spray painted silver. Anyways, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.